Alright, last NoSp4 map, probably. At least for now, but we'll see. But you guys seem to enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun, so I'm always happy to provide. First thing I do is go for these 1k health cybers, the blue gut cybers. I figured if I do this, fewer rockets flying around, always good. It'll make a section a little bit later, a little bit easier, so we've got that to look forward to. Go for this carpet of cells here, grab a megasphere because I more than likely either ate a rocket or took a bunch of splash damage. And the point is I want to stay on this side of things so I can pull those guys out of that room on the opposite side of me for as long as possible. And then get down here, and I stand here for a second to let rev missiles break on that floor above me, and then carve my way through these imps and these arachnotrons. I try to save the megasphere right here, but a lot of times I just can't, so I just go ahead and take it. Not the end of the world. And then force my way up these steps. As dangerous as that is, I feel that this is the best way of handling this because I do need to be on this side of things for a while, and then push down, and yep, super lucky. The 1 health, oh yeah, always makes a good demo in my opinion. Yeah, that's how I handle this room, and then I try to stay here for a long time because I want to pull cybers to this side of the arena. You're gonna see how I push out of here with the Cacos in just a minute here because yeah, this is the the combat puzzle, I guess they talk about. Everywhere that I'm standing still and moving really slowly, these are very deliberate to try to manipulate the monster movement the way I want. So after waiting there a while, it opens up this area a little bit. I watch them to try to see like a good moment when those cybers are gone from that wall, and then go in. You get to this point, you've gained a whole lot of control, a whole lot of headway over this fight, and now you're feeling pretty good. And I make this big U shape. I go around here and then back inside this door. And I was watching out for that the infighting rockets there. Like, seriously, just never ends. But yeah, I make this kind of U shape all the way around everything. And when I get to this side, I like to stay in here for a little while because I want to pull cybers away from the beginning, away from where like that cell carpet was. So it's good to spend more time in here, pull these cybers in here. You'll see I actually mess it up at around the 4-minute mark, and you'll see why it's really recommended to do this, or I would really recommend to do this. And then the thing with the cybers too, try to, while you're doing this, hit the cybers a lot, because if you can take out some of them, it can also help you with a little margin for error, fewer infighting rockets like those, and then you'll be golden. And a few more seconds over here. There, yep. A lot of damage. Yep, seeing 3 of them go down. Feels good. Careful of those infighting rockets too. I had some really dumb infighting rockets take me out while I was in some previous attempts. Hilarious. Also like to do some damage to those revs, because with those revs, the thing is you have to clean them up in just a minute here, like after the fight's over. So if you can invest into that a little bit, it's save you a little bit of time, save you a little bit of that annoyance. Random rev missile. It tends to be just one side that has a lot of these revs still alive. I don't know what it is. You have this. Okay, so this is a mistake. So see how I'm grabbing those cells and I'm trying to do more damage to those revs? This is greed. Okay, we do not want to be doing that. See, now I'm struggling to get out of here with the cybers, but luckily those couple cybers, they had no health left because I'd already hit them a lot. And there were very few cybers left, so it was okay. But if you make that mistake while there are too many cybers, or like earlier on in the fight, the run is probably over at that point. It's gonna be really hard to get out of that little trench. More tracers for these revs, and just cleaning up this last little bit. Now this, I tend to always pick the maps with like the tight fights that are over in like 30 seconds, not very much cleanup, and that is what I like. That is typically my favorite thing. But now I'm warming up, opening up to some of these maps where it's like really high monster count and a decent amount of cleanup time, and you know, you still got to be careful. Something that would happen back in the day is I would basically just never play fights like this. If there are fights like this where it's just too much cleanup, it's just taking too long, I'm always like lukewarm on it and don't really like it. And what would happen is if I'm streaming it, I'm in the cleanup, I've already beaten the fight basically, but because of my own impatience, I just start getting hit by being reckless. But I'm working on that because I don't really like that, and hopefully by doing a couple more demos like this, I'm replaying Cosmogenesis right now, having a lot of fun with that. And who knows, maybe I'll pull up a little Sunder, maybe some other stuff, and you know, attack that weak point. But yeah, pressing those two switches opens up this door this way here to this like incidental area. A lot of fun, of course, rocketing those zombie men. Hit that switch and then come back and you can start making some more progress. I would recommend, you know, fill up your cells before you come here, and make sure that you're not using any cells on these guys or these imps. Make sure to do all rockets, because the thing with these imps, the thing with this next fight is that you don't get any cells, but you're gonna need them. You're gonna need cells, at least in my opinion, is how I do it. And then I'm gonna go back up, and then I'm gonna grab some rockets and Megasphere. We want max health for this next part, since this next part can get tight. Now, I was kind of struggling with this fight the first time I played. I was trying to go for the Barons. There's Barons on the other side. First, I was trying to go for them to try to slow things down. I just didn't know what to like aim for at first. But eventually, what I found is going for the Cacos first makes it so you get a whole lot more room in the room. Because if you leave them to just start flying in between the like little pit next to you and stuff, and in between these like black wall textures, nah, those are they're gonna end up like messing things up. And those Astral Cacos, if you do this strategy, I feel like they always just die like pretty quickly. They don't really do anything. Maybe no reason needed to put more of them or something to have more of an impact, who knows. Yeah, and then these Barons come out, and it's always satisfying doing this with this rocket launcher because they die pretty quickly. And then as they were swarming me, I could just get to that side because I want to open up a little pathway just like this. Boom, and we're in there. Be sure to kill these Archviles. I literally forgot. It's hilarious. And then clean up the Barons from up here is kind of my strategy. I've got 72 effective health, and all these 64 damage fireballs are flying at me, but I caught the 56. Not playing Doom 64 today. We played Doom 56. Yeah, I don't want to play Doom 56 or 64. I want to play Doom 8. And then again, just to mention, those red Archviles in this WAD, that signifies that they can't revive each other, whereas Archviles with the typical sprite can revive each other. Hitting that switch opens up another little incidental encounter with a lot of imps that's around this corner. It's funny because in these no reason WADs, you know, the incidental combat always looks like this, like group of imps that you rocket down, or maybe zombie men that you rocket or BFG down. Always fun. I always get a kick out of that, and I'm sure that he does too. That's why he keeps doing it. Okay, and that's it. So that's it for this fight, and then we're gonna go into the finale. So the finale is crazy. It has 4 different floors in it, which you know I love, because if you played Spectrum of the Balls of Steel, one of my maps, that has a fight that has like multiple floors in it. It's on a much smaller scale, but still, I really like this concept where there's continuity. So you'll see. You get up to the 2nd floor, and that's how it starts. Do a little damage to Revs, and then do some more damage to Revs, and then I turn around and go for these Cacos, and then I go for the Hell Knights. So I'm basically, with the BFG, I'm trying to focus down all 3. Now the Revs, you don't really make much progress with these Revs. It's kind of an investment for later, but I think it's still really good to do while you're here. But yeah, killing these Cacos and these Hell Knights. The thing is, these Cacos are gonna be blocking this Megasphere eventually. So whether you grab it early or whether, you know, whatever you decide to do, it's always good to kill those Cacos, because no matter what, you always have more space to move around if it's none of those just flying up. And yeah, we had ourselves a close call there, 2 health. So we had a 1 health moment, we had a 2 health moment. Let me tell you, I've got some demos where, I've got a lot of demos where, you know, it looks good. It looks like I look like a genius. Every fight went so cleanly. It was a clean looking demo. This is not one of those. This is definitely one of those I barely survived this demo, here, watch kind of demos. So enjoy that, I guess. Now the thing is, the cell management. So with this fight, you got to really be aggressive on these Hell Knights so that you can make sure you have a pathway to grab the cells. And I much prefer grabbing the cells that are closer to the stairs, grabbing those earlier if you can like manage it that way. That's really good, and then it makes it so the sort of easier to grab cells are you know, more likely to be available. And that's what's going to be left over as you get further into the fight. Now at this point, we're about ready to get up here. Hopefully you've stalled enough to make a way through there, and then get up top. And I usually grab the Megasphere that was just behind me now, not this one here. But just given the situation, I was at like, what, 58 health or something. I figured that the best thing to do was to just go ahead and grab a Megasphere that, the Megasphere that was close. And then the next thing is I take out all these cybers. There's those cybers, and then there's cybers that are in front of a switch, and I want to take those out eventually too. Needed more health and armor, so had to do that right there. But yeah, these guys. So we take out these guys, and then there's a couple more in the alcove behind me that I want to take care of, because basically in this fight, all these snipers, all these Arachnotrons and Manx that are just covering the screen, covering the sky. They all die if you press these two switches, and this is one of them, and then the other one is on the other side of the fight, which you'll see in just a minute here. So I just keep taking some shots until these two die. And then one of these times is a really close call. I think it's this one right here. No, maybe next one. Actually, it does look like it's the next one, because it looks like the Manx finally hit that cyber. So check this out. There, yep. Very sketch. Again, crazy demo. I love that every once in a while. I love having both, you know? But yeah, so those cybers are now dead, and now we can go in for this switch here. So that's one. And then the next thing, oh no, this part. So infighting rockets are crazy. I go in for this health and I get stuck, and then I get hit. Not good. Take notes. That's not how you do that. You'll see in just a second here. I'll actually demonstrate to you what I actually wanted to do, which is come this way, grab those cells, but come this way and drop down is the main thing that I need to do. And then with these guys, so these are actually the BFG masterminds, the ones that alternate between BFG and the super chain gun. They have 1,000,000 health, of course. Strangely enough, in every practice run and in this one attempt that made it this far, I've never actually seen these masterminds really, hit me with too much BFG tracers. I've never had much problems with doing this. I just go in, even though I just took tracers there. But yeah, then this goes horribly wrong. It would be good, see, that's what I was saying, was I needed to grab ammo before dropping down there. That way none of that would happen. And also, it's not good that I was trying to use my that rocket launcher to get out of that situation. What that shows basically is I had kind of lost control of the fight, and I was about to lose. But it's okay, I didn't. Here we are, winning run, feels good. And we're at 19 health, not great. There's a couple megas in some inconvenient locations. So we've got a couple behind the BFG masterminds, which you saw. And we're not gonna get those just yet. There's another one that's kind of closer to me, and you'll see the sort of mental battle between this and getting it. low damage roll on that punch. That was really nice. We had an 18 damage roll that, you know, that goes all the way up to 60 in increments of 6. So if that was a 60 damage punch, it would have been over right there. So that was really lucky. And see that mega? You might have seen it just really briefly while I turned around there. I'm gonna try to go in for it now, but then the infighting is just too crazy. Yep, see. So, like 1 second. Sorry guys, but it's like 1 second. We'll get up there and try again. Throw some rockets at these guys. Why not? And we get our opportunity to finally get health back and feel good. Random mastermind still alive. Usually all these masterminds are dead and like doesn't even matter. I actually wouldn't even know if that, yeah, so that mastermind didn't die from the switch that kills all the snipers, but it's whatever. But yeah, so those two switches, you know, that kill the snipers, and the room becomes so much more manageable, as you can see. See, not as many projectiles flying around. Feels good. But yeah, the cleanup. So you see, this is kind of what I'm describing, is that a lot of times this happens to me where there is a big cleanup, and although all the difficulty is basically gone, but somehow just the tediousness of this, and from going around and around here and there, and you know, being careful, I feel like a lot of times like my health just tends to disappear when I'm playing that kind of a cleanup, and I don't really like that. I think it's a good skill to have, to be able to clean up without having to save scum, you know. So another reason I'm glad I'm doing this. And then when we come around this corner, it's time to take out these cybers. That's basically it. It can be nerve-wracking because it's a lot of rockets at the end of a demo, but this is not very difficult. We love the music. You know, No Reason has 2 kinds of soundtracks for his maps. Oh, and yeah, that. So that was 136 damage of rocket there. So it's probably the lowest damage roll plus the 100 plus 116 splash damage, I think, is what happened there. So I went ahead and grabbed another Megasphere. Why not? Since it's over there, give ourselves the best chance at surviving. And then clean up these last cybers. Yeah, what I was gonna say is, No Reason's got the dance music for us here, you know, the mod music. He's got 2 kinds of soundtracks for his maps. Either power metal, Knight Rider of Doom, Dragon Force type of stuff, or he's got the dance music from the mod archive. I mean, not really dance music, but that's what it kind of feels like right now. Yeah, then the 3 cybers in the exit. No Reason's sort of stamp at his maps. A lot of fun. I really like this map, and I gotta say, this finale, this room, for one thing, I love the aesthetics of it, but also the amount of snipers, the Arachnotrons, even the Arachnotrons and everything. You know, it puts a good kind of pressure on you, and I think it's really well done, that finale. That was the main reason that I wanted to max the map. Now, something interesting, when I was practicing map 1, I was struggling with the first fight. So what I did is I pulled up my stream, and I was curious, how did I do it on my stream? Well, that's the strategy, guys. Take notes. Yes, I did that. I literally just pushed through the cybers, and then after this I saved. I literally saved my game because I didn't want to do it again. So I was like, well, my stream was actually no help, so that's fantastic. But anyway, that was just something funny I thought I'd show you. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, peace.